Welcome to Jerusalem, Yom Yerushalayim, Day of Jerusalem 2020. And we are all here together on the Tower of David, open specially for us. So we have an event of connection, event of unity, event of, wow, do you see what I'm seeing? Wow, we are tens of thousands of people from all around the world right now watching and looking at this, Jerusalem. Can you imagine? Are you excited like I am? Do you understand that the Golden Dome over there is the same place where the temple, the first one and the second one were? Can you understand? Imagine that Abraham and Isaac are fathers. They're just walking over there as mentioned in the Bible. Can you imagine King David and King Solomon? They were also here. Wow, building the first temple. Can you imagine the 400 years on which Jews came here on the holidays, dancing and singing all around? Can you imagine the amazing tunes of the Levites playing with thousands of harps and violins and cymbals and guitars or whatever they had? Can you imagine the incense? What a smell. It said that a bride on a wedding night did not put perfume on her Jerusalem. It was so strong a smell. For 400 years, our forefathers came here, an event of connection, but then what was destroyed by the first temple, by the Babylonians, but we came back for the second temple. And again, for 600 years, this is Ezra and Nehemiah. This is the Maccabees for Hanukkah. They came here all together and they rebuilt this central command, protecting Jerusalem. Then it was destroyed. And for 2,000 years, people were just dreaming. A Jew everywhere where he's praying, directing his prayers here, hoping for the day to come. And it came. We're now in Jerusalem connecting all of us together. How did that happen? 1948 is not the date. Because in 1948, we got a state of Israel. But the Jordanians took over the old city, and for 19 years, Jews were banned, prevented from coming into the old city. But in 1967, after the Jordanians started the war, they took over the commissioner's office down here to my right-hand side. And then the Brigade of Jerusalem started tried to defend from them and took them away. And then they came through this area on the third day of the war. And the paratroopers came from this area, Scopus Mountain back over there, Olive Mountain just over there, came in through the Lion Gate. They both met at the Western Wall, coming up through these alleys in the market, and they came here to the Tower of David. This is just amazing. And we're celebrating today 53 years to that event. And since then, we can be here. And every person can feel free to come to Jerusalem. Doesn't matter what you believe in and who you are. So we're going to go on a short tour. And this tour, we're going to start outside the walls and go meet King David in his tomb. Not really King David, but we're going to be in his tomb and go inside the old city. We're going to meet warriors from 1967 who were in the same event. And we're going to go to the Kotel, and we're going to look upon and the tour in an amazing honor, singing the Hatikvah on one of these amazing roofs, looking upon Temple Mount, and then clapping for the soldiers, because thanks to them, this can be. We can come to Jerusalem. But first, look, I'm Aviv Wishkovsky. I'm educational director for Thank Israeli Soldiers, and I know that we need to say thank you for the soldiers because they're just 18, 19-year-old, and it's so important that we say thank you. And with this thank you, we can empower them, help them understand what they are. So this is Central Command 2,000 years ago. Let's first meet the head, the higher commander of Jerusalem, and say thank you to him. Let's give him a certificate. You know what? From all of us, I would need your help, but you have to join me, okay? So we don't have much time. Please join me. We're going to meet the head commander of Jerusalem. I'm so excited. Every day we thank the soldiers and thank Israeli soldiers, but this time we're meeting the head command, the central command of Israel. He's like in charge of all this area, from the Israel Valley all the way to Beersheba. You see all this mountain with Jerusalem and Hebron and Bethlehem and all the areas from the biblical areas. He's in charge in the heart of it, Jerusalem. Whoever is in charge and defends this protects also all of the seashore. It's just amazing. And we're going to say thank you and give him a certificate in the name of all of you and us, citizens of Israel, Jew around the world, and all the people who love Israel. Okay, so let's go in. Hello, General.
Hi.
This is a token, a humble token of us saying thank you to you for protecting Jerusalem, the heart of the hearts and the soul of the souls. I don't have enough words just to say from all of us, thousands of people watching us, just to say thank you and to empower your soldiers. Thank you for what you do. What is it to be in charge of all of the...
First of all, I want to thank you all for all this warming hang of the IDF and our soldier. It's really, really important to the land of Israel. One of the cornerstones of the land of Israel is the relation between the people of Israel, the communities. And this relation strengthened the soldier and the IDF and our ability to build the land here in Israel. So Thank you very, very, very much.
Wow. Thank you. כל הכבוד, תודה רבה. Thank you for...
Thank you.
It's like today, this way. All the best.
Thank you all.
Wow, we met the General of Jerusalem. Wasn't it excited to meet the High Commander of the region of Jerusalem? This is just like meeting Yehuda Maccabi 2,200 years ago from the times of Hanukkah. I was amazed, but remember, his soldiers need your thank yous. We speak to thousands of soldiers every month, and you should know the soldiers need to thank you. It reminds them of the higher cause they're there. They want to be on the beach, but your thank yous remind them that they're protecting the Jews all around the world. They're protecting the people of Israel. So if you want to send a thank you, use this link. Write something down or send a video, but please do. We have to continue our tour. We are now outside the wall, right over there, Zion Gate, and we are here just nearby the tomb of King David. Tomb of King David, David the king, the one who made Jerusalem the capital of Israel. David the prophet, David who wrote the book of Psalms. You know those book of Psalms? You know, I speak Hebrew, I know some of them by heart. Also King Solomon is in that cave. He wrote Eshet Chayil Mi'imtza and 3 other books from the Bible. King David wrote Hine Matov Umana. Do you know the song Hine Matov from camp or from school? It's over here, King David. And this site is also holy for Christians and Muslims, not only for the Jews, because King David is so important to all. So this is King David's tomb. And there's a church right over there. And this is so many to see. But this is the chamber of the Holocaust. You know, I'm Aviv Wishkovsky. The family comes from Poland. And the Chamber of the Holocaust, just over here, the first memorial in Israel for the Holocaust, 1949. We look for a place to remember these amazing people, the people we lost in the Holocaust, and we look for the holiest place. Remember, from 40 to 67, the old city was not ours. It was occupied by Jordan. So we look for the closest and holiest place in Israel, and this was it. Hey, Rav Yitzchak. Here's the son of the founder of the yeshiva, of Diaspora Yeshiva. Can you please tell us about the yeshiva? Why is it here? I'll put the mask, it's Corona.
Yes. The Diaspora Yeshiva was established in 1967, maybe 3 weeks after the finishing of the 6-Day War. And the idea of the Diaspora Yeshiva was to do the reverse of what the Holocaust did. Hitler wanted to destroy the Jewish people. The Jewish people got dispersed and maybe a danger in being assimilated. So the Diaspora Yeshiva did the reverse, brought the people here right above the Chamber of the Holocaust. We have the building here, and we brought thousands of kids from youth from all around the countries and globus where the Jews had been dispersed, and brought them back to Israel and tried to connect them to the land through our heritage Torah, and through the land, building settlements like we build in Gush Etzion settlement and others, and living in Old City, in Jerusalem, and all over Israel, and being part of the land and get back to be part of the Jewish nation.
Wow, this is just an amazing story. And does David connect to this story?
Sure. The Diaspora Yeshiva was built right here around King David's tomb. We restored and renovated all the buildings around in Mount Zion that's surrounding King David's tomb. And that's the location of where the students live and the families and the teachers of the Diaspora Yeshiva live.
Wow, thank you for sharing soldier protecting Jerusalem. Thank you very much. Yom Yerushalayim Sameach. Happy Jerusalem Day. We're going there. I want to share you just one story. I want to share you just one story, please. Holocaust. I interview a lot of people who were in the Holocaust, or mostly who fought in 1948. And I want to share one story, a piece of the story. 1948, try to imagine this. 1944, Auschwitz camp, freezing cold, starving to death. There's a Jew getting hit by a Nazi. It's Yom Kippur. And the Nazis hitting him and asking him, Yudin, Jew, where do you have your hope from? I'm hitting you on your holiest day. Where do you have your hope from? And that Jew just stands up in front of the Nazi and does like this. Nazi is amazed. What do you mean? And he says, 3 words are our hope. You can never destroy our hope. Our hope is Leshana Habaa Yerushalayim. Next year in Jerusalem. And here, we are here today. If I would tell my grandfather and my great-great-grandfather that I would be here with thousands of people here in the old city in Yom Yerushalayim, what would they give just to be here, just to know that? But how did it start? It started right over there on that mountain. We didn't want the war. The war was in Egypt. We didn't want it, but the Georgians just started the war and took over commissioner's office, the UN base over there. So we had to prevent them from taking over all the city. We have there Zohar Ba'am, one of those soldiers who fought. Zohar, can you hear us? Let's go to Zohar, okay, to meet him.
שהבחנו תוך כמה שניות בירדנים שרצים מאזור שער הארמון, בערך הגיעו התחילו להגיע לחוות הלימוד. קבוצה של בוא נגיד כמה עשרות חיילים, קיפצו בין הסלעים, היה פה מבנה שונה, היה פה מבנה של סלעי טרשים כאלה, אז הם קיפצו בין הסלעים, אני אחר כך אפרט יותר, ואז המ"פ שלנו, אהרון קמרה, מצלצל לנרקיס, אלוף הפיקוד, ואומר לו, תשמע, הם רצים אלינו, מה לעשות, לברוח או להדוף אותם, תחליט. והוא אומר, אין אישור מהמטכ"ל. להתקפת נגד. אז הוא אומר לו, טוב, תשמע, בעוד 2-3 דקות הם עלינו כבר.
And what happened then?
הגיע תוך כדי זה יוסי לנגוצקי עם פלוגת הסיור שלו, כל אחד הגיע מקום אחר, ואשר, דר, שהמפקד שלנו, הגיע לבד.
Zohar, we're short of time. Let's just focus on your battle of your 2 tanks at the commissioner's office.
נכנסנו לבית השער בכוח, כמו שאומרים, היו חוויות בדרך, תקענו בהם פגזים להעיף אותם, של האומניקים, נסענו כזה בסללומים כאלה, נכנסנו וירינו.
Zohar, it's known as the 6-day war is a war of miracles. You had a special miracle. Can you tell us about the miracle with you and Rafi?
ברגע שרפי נכנס, קרה הדבר שהכי חששתי ממנו, גם בתדריכים, הוא חטף פגז. ופה התערב הוא מלמעלה, כן, הפגז התחלק, אתה מבין, תכף מכניסים פגז מ10 מטר בטנק, והפגז מחליק, הוא קצת קרטע, אבל אני חושב שראיתי הטנק שנהיה ורוד לשנייה, מעוצמת הפגיעה.
Thank you, Zohar. Thank you for sharing your story. You have to dismiss Zohar and continue our tour. We have a short time, and as you see, we're still outside the walls of the old city. Walls of the old city. These are not really old. These are only 500 years old. For Jerusalem, for a Jew, 500 years, this is like almost yesterday. But still, these walls were here in 1948 while we were fighting. Inside the Jewish quarter, only 120 soldiers against a whole battalion of Jordanians. We had to surrender. We lost the war. And from this gate, the Zion gate, the Jews had to leave. Here's a picture of the Jews leaving in 1948 on Lag BaOmer, leaving the old city, not to come in for 19 years. 19 years. But then, as you know, Jordanians started the war in 1967. They first war there in Armon HaNatziv, then Abu Tor, and then the platoon commanders are meeting at the King David's tomb like we just been, and they couldn't come here. This was full of mines and fences. They went down through there, and they came into the Kotel through the Dung Gate. We are going to go inside here, but meanwhile, let's meet Yaki. Yaki is the platoon commander that went inside to the Dung Gate. So Yaki?
רצנו לאורך החומה, אלי קדר עלה שמאלה למרכז הרובע, ואני נכנסתי דרך האשפות כשכיתת אחות מובילה לכיוון הרובע היהודי. ואז כשכיתת החוד, והמחלקה הראשונה, ואני בראשה, הגענו למרכז שכונת המוגרבים, במרכז של 100 מטר מהכותל, פתאום נפתחה עלינו אש תופת, אנחנו נקלענו למערב ירי. ירו עלינו אש מאוד מאוד חזקה מצד שמאל, מהבתים הגבוהים של הרובע היהודי. עד היום אני זוכר את שיקות הכדורים, אני זוכר את הריקושטים והמרכזים שעפו באוויר, וכשאתה נמצא במקום סגור, כל כדור נשמע כמו ירי של תותח. הייתה שם מולת אלוהים, ירו, מה זה היה קצב רצחני. גם הפלוגה שלי, בשלב הראשון, בדקות הראשונות, ירתה לכל מקום. לאחר מכן ניתרנו את מקורות הירי והראינו אש יותר מכוונת.
Okay, so the fire stopped. What happened next?
האש פסקה, אחרי כ10 דקות, ואז אני אמרתי לפלוגה, רבותיי, אנחנו יכולים לעשות את הצד ההיסטורי. אנחנו קמים ורצים בבקויות. כמו שאני מארגן את הפלוגה, ונע לכיוון הכותל, בטווח של 100 מטר, פתאום בקשר. וזו הנקודה החשובה ביותר. שעד היום אני זוכר אותה, ועד היום כשאני שומע את הפקודה, אני עדיין רואה. יאקי, אתה עוצר במקום, יאקי, אתה עוצר במקום.
What, they stopped you in front of the kotel? What is it for you?
ואז אמרתי לעצמי, אני לא עוצר במקום, אני מפר פקודה ואני רץ קדימה ומגיע לכותל. להיות בטווח של נגיעה מהכותל ולא להגיע, זה לא ייתכן דבר כזה. ואז התכוננתי לרוץ קדימה, פתאום הוא ממשיך ואומר לי בקשר, יכול להיות שברחבת הכותל נמצאים כבר צנחנים. כאן נעלמתי דום ואמרתי, גם להפר פקודה וגם אם קיימת אפשרות כאן לראות אחד בשני, זה יותר מדי עבורי. לכן עצרתי במקום, כאילו שמסמרו אותי במקום, כולי רעדתי, זה היה פספוס אדיר.
Yaki, thank you very much for sharing your story. It was so amazing and so important. You weren't the first, but still you were privileged to be part of this uniting Jerusalem for us. Every soldier, it's always best to be the first, but every soldier, every part is so important. We're running inside the old city, Jewish quarter we're at right now. This is the Chovah synagogue. There's a lot of synagogues around of all the communities with the different flavors and tastes of every community, of every group. There's amazing archaeological sites. Under that house, there are 7 houses from the Second Temple. And under that area, there is a site called the Burnt House. And over there, there's a cardo, meaning a huge street from the times of the Roman era. And look at the flags of the modern buildings of today. In Jerusalem, you have to build the houses with brick walls, so it looks as if it's ancient. And the flags, which are honoring Jerusalem from Independence Day to Yom Yerushalayim, Jerusalem Day, we have these flags. And we are just walking here in the center of the old city. But look, you have to come here again, physically. You have to visit Jerusalem, see all these amazing sites that are here. Especially, you probably see the wall from 2,800 years ago. This is the wall from the times of the Bible, from the times of the temple. It's as mentioned in the book of Kings in the Bible. And you know what that means? If we're now on the wall from the first temple, that means that, whoa, I'm out of the city. Yeah, I'm just now out of the city. You are in, I'm out of the city. And we're now walking along a wall. You know the miracle that happened with this wall when the Assyrians took over all the northern part of Israel? Do you know that next to it, under this house, there's a wall from the Second Temple built by the Maccabees. This is the story of Hanukkah. They had the miracle fighting against the Greeks. We're today not thanking only the soldiers of today. We're also thanking the soldiers of 67, 48, First Temple and Second Temple. So amazing to be with you here in Jerusalem in this event of Yom Yerushalayim. Hi, Uriel. Uriel, you might find him almost all the time, like he's sleeping here, playing music to the people here, because Jerusalem is a place of joy, of happiness. The song you're hearing is Yerushalayim Shel Zahav, Jerusalem of gold. I'm so excited. This is Yom Yerushalayim, and we're hearing this song here in Jerusalem. I interviewed so many of the warriors of 1967 and 48, but 67, they all say that this is like a prophecy. They were crying while fighting, hearing, hoping for the day to come that we're going to be in the old city, and here we are today. You know what? We have another soldier waiting for us, Rav Isa Kronsky. He has a special story about this song, but first, Rav Isa, do you hear me? Rabbi Yisrael, can you please tell us your story? 1967, how did you start their battles?
היינו חיילים מכל קצוות הקשת האנושית. היו בוגרי נוער קומוניסטי ובוגרי דתיים ובוגרי שומר צעיר וכל מה שאתה רוצה. והיינו יחד במערבולת אחת חברתית מאוד מאוד טובה, מאוד חברתית. ולא ידענו לאן הפנים מועדות, אנחנו הבנו שמלחמה תפרוץ. לא ידענו תפרוץ מלחמה או לא, הבנו שמלחמה תפרוץ. לא פעם ולא פעמיים אמרו, יאללה, ניקח את הג'יפים, נעלה על הבית של האשכול. להודיע לו צריך להתחיל את המלחמה. כמובן בצחוק. הצבא ניסה לשלוח לנו תרבות, הגיעה אלינו גברת נעמי שבר, הגיעה אלינו ירושלים של זהב שלה, זה מאוד ריגש. ירושלים של זהב זה בכלל סיפור שלם, כל הירושלים של זהב. ימים אחדים לפני המלחמה, יצא לאור השיר, גם זה סיפור ארוך של ירושלים של זהב, הוא היה מושר בפי קול, מושר בפי קול. והיא בעצמה באה עם נגן אחד, וישבנו ודיברנו. ההרגשה הייתה, אי אפשר להגיד שלא הייתה דאגה.
Rabbi Yichar, I asked a guitar player to join us, because I remember you have a special story with Yerushalayim Shel Zahav. Can you tell us, share with us the feeling of the story?
אז בבתי בית לחם, סמוך לאחד ממחנות הפליטים, עמדו שם וגדוד שלם והר. הר מלא גדוד שחפר. ואנחנו עמדנו על ידו עם הג'יפים, הגיעו ראשי עיריית בית לחם, בית סחור ובית ג'לל, וכתבו כתב כניעה, ואנחנו עמדנו שם. ובמלחמה הזאת הייתה מלחמה שכל חייל הלך עם טרנזיסטור. זה היום שהמציאו את הטרנזיסטור, לצורך המלחמה הזאת. ואז כל אחד חפר והטרנזיסטור על ידו. זה היה בערך בשעה 7:30-8, ואז הרדיו העביר את כיבוש ירושלים, ואת הרב גורן, כל ההר נעמד ושר ירושלים של זהב. גם אנחנו. זה הרגע שריגש אותי מאוד מאוד מאוד.
Thank you, Rabbi Isa, for sharing that story. Yerushalayim Shel Zahav, Jerusalem of gold. It's like a prophecy. Only a month before the war, she wrote that song, Jerusalem of gold, but of copper. What is copper? Did you hear, Rabbi Isa? Maybe she was dedicating it to the sunrise, or maybe she was dedicating it to the soldiers who fought in 1967. Whereas there's another place here, just here, our next site, which is also dedicated for soldiers, the Soren Clark Center. Just look at this. You see these row of buildings? They're just above remains of a wall from the first temple and from the second temple. And as we go in, join me. This place, soldiers just love it. It's cold at the summer, and it's hot in the winter. We feed them. They get a big hug from Jews from all around the world and people who love them. And on those screens, there are thank yous that you send. You can still send thank yous throughout all year to this link. And there's more screens coming up from the ceiling when they're sitting here. And I want to show you down below. Come. When we were renovating this place, we went down into the bedrock and we found bedrock from the second temple, just along the walls. It's like the soldiers are still protecting Jerusalem, like the Maccabees also today. And every time a unit comes here, they put their hat or the badge. This is the souvenir. They say thank you to us. Most of the people look at the hats. Here are the tanks and the communication and elite units and the Air Force, and they're all along. So everybody just comes here and looks for their badge. It's just so exciting. And this is a way for us to connect to the soldiers and dedicate it to them. It's a big hug. Oh, Ben, what are you doing here? Oh, what are you doing here?
I'm preparing the place for the soldiers. We have a seminar at the end of the service to transition back to civilian life.
So I'm sorry. Look,
Hey guys.
yeah, this is a live streaming. Okay, we can't just stop it. But let's use the opportunity. I'm going to stand here. Can you just tell me? You're the youngest of us. How is it a soldier of today? We talked about the past of Jerusalem, and what's the present? How is it to be a soldier today?
Well, I'm discharged. I served as a combat soldier in elite units.
Oh,
so I cannot explain my story. But it's a huge privilege. You know, Jerusalem, it's our connection to this land. And today I know that I received the tools and values that made me the man I am today. So It's amazing.
Great. So good thing we popped into you. All the best. We have to run to the next stop. So enjoy the seminar. Do good to the soldiers. And we're going to go. Okay, so we thank the soldiers, empowered them, and now finally we're coming to the Western Wall, the Kotel HaMaravi. Are you excited? Why are you excited? What's so unique about the Western Wall? Some of the people think accidentally that the Western Wall is the most important place, the holiest place in the world for the Jews. Truth is, it isn't. The Western Wall just retains the holiest place, which is up there, the Temple Mount, where the Golden Dome is. That's the place of the temple. And the Western Wall is one of the retaining walls. I'm going to tell you about the Western Wall as we're going to an amazing observation, looking upon the Western Wall Plaza. So just follow me. So 2,000 years ago, thousands of people, Jews coming from all around the world to celebrate the holidays in the temple. There isn't enough room to dance. So King Herod, the amazing builder, he decides to enlarge the Temple Mount Plaza and to make it a huge place. Something like 17 football fields can fit in that plaza. Thousands of people dancing together. He builds 4 retaining walls, a western wall, which you probably know, but there's also a southern wall, an eastern wall, and a northern wall. And that was the plaza. And the temple was about 13 high, a huge skyscraper in that time, those meanings. So here we are, looking upon the Western Wall. So the Temple Mount is the holiest spot right up there, and this is the Western Wall Plaza. So why is it so unique? The answer is, you probably know that the Western Wall is also called in English the Wailing Wall, or the Wall of Tears. And that's because Jews always cried on the Western Wall. They're crying to go back up. Look at this picture. This is the temple, how it was 2,000 years ago, and this is the Western Wall. We're not talking about the Western Wall of the temple or of the courtyard. We're talking of the plaza, and this is only what is remained today. Lower courses of stones are original, but all this area was destroyed and then covered. You can go to the Western Wall tunnels and see the rest, but this is the Western Wall. And for hundreds of years, Jews have been coming here to cry and to ask to be at the closest place to the gate to heaven from Temple Mount, and to ask God, please help us, give us a future. Please bring us back to Jerusalem, and later also bring the temple and bring big tikkun olav to the world. Why can we be here? It's because in 1967, the soldiers came in. Yaki, which we just met, he came from there in the Dung Gate, and Zamush from the paratroopers, he came from there. Mount of Olives, Lion Gate, and then entering through the Temple Mount, and then they put the flag just over there, and do you know what? We have Zamush with us, just on the roof. Zamush, can you hear us? Can you tell the story, please? Your story.
פרצנו את שער האריות, אנחנו מסתערים, הזחל"ם של מוטה הוא פה, אנחנו מסתערים אל כיפת הסלע, כאן הזחל"ם של מוטה, רואים, אני פה קדימה, זה אני, זה יגאל שפר, אנחנו מסתערים רחב מאוד, הנה והנה, זה מחנה של הליגיון, אוהלים, ג'יפים, מסעיות, כל הסוגים, דגל של הליגיון, הרץ שלי, אברהם אלשכתר, מוריד את הדגל של הליגיון ושם אותו אצלו בחגורה.
Wow, so this is when Motagur, the head of the brigade, said, Har HaBayit B'yadenu, we have the Temple Mount, we have the Temple Mount. But what happened next? I remember you told me about this story, this picture. This is you, right? What happened? Can you tell us?
הנפנו את הדגל, נעמדים בשורה, אלי לנדאו, כתב במחנה, הוא המצלם, נעמדים בשורה פה, סטמפל על ידי, ומה שעומד על ידי, ושרנו התקווה.
Zamush, but what about Stempel? Tell us about Stempel. I remember the story. Tell us about Stempel.
ואז סטמפל תופס אותי, ושרנו התקווה. הוא תופס אותי אחרי זה ככה בזרוע, אחורנית, שאלי לנדאו המנוול לא יצלם אותו, עם הדמעות, עם הקסדה. הוא אומר לי, זמוש, אם סבים שלי היו יודעים אי פעם, שאני אגיע הנה לכותל מערבי בירושלים, אם סבי הסבים שלי היו יודעים, 1000 פעמים היו נותנים את החיים שלהם, רק לדעת שפעם זה יהיה. מסתכל למטה, חבר'ה שלנו עם שני הליגיונרים, להכיר. הוא אומר, זה לא חשבון עם מיגנרי. זה חשבון עם חיילים רמאים של טיטוס. אנחנו סוגרים את החשבון עם ההיסטוריה. אז הוא קורא לי את היד, אני לא מגזים, קורא לי. אף פעם לא נעזוב לזה. אנחנו לא נוותר על המקום הזה לעולם.
Thank you, Zamush, for sharing your story. It was just so exciting to meet you and a privilege of meeting you and all the words we met during this broadcast. We just got a taste, a small taste of Jerusalem. The more you taste, you want more. And I hope you would come again and see us in this film, but even physically here to Jerusalem. But unfortunately, we had to end this experience. And how can we end such an amazing experience from the old city, seeing and looking upon the Temple Mount? I think we would do it with a hope for a better future. We talked about the past, we talked about the present. Let's talk for the future. Hope. That's our national anthem. Hope, Hatikvah. And we're going to sing Hatikvah, thousands of people uniting all together from your homes through Jerusalem, all together. And after that, we are going to clap out for the soldiers who are defending Israel, the Jewry all around the world, and the values which we represent. So we're singing Hatikvah, Ein Letzion Sophia, our eyes looking at the heart of the hearts, the soul, the Temple Mount. And after the Tikvah, we're going to clap out, you from your houses and I from here. But one last thing, when we're clapping, video yourself. Send it to us in the link below, and let's put it so we would know all of us have been to this tour. We know we do it united and connected together. So we brought Uriel from down below to here. He's going to help me sing with his amazing guitar. Ready? Ein Letzion Sophia, facing Jerusalem. Uriel, ready? Hatikvah. Are you all standing?
Love the soldier. Love the soldier.